Hello, let's try this. So it's new to me. I hope I can do this without stopping. So I want to make a simple project, which is the Kleenex tissue holder. Let's get our pieces together. So I have a tab that I want to make a tab like to hold it. It is about 5 inches long and 1.5 wide. We're gonna fold in, back, iron down, and then we're gonna stitch it on both sides just because it's pretty. I have this little dilly dab, this that I'm gonna add in there, so you could clip it on a purse, a backpack, throw it somewhere. You could still find it rather easily. The two pieces I'm gonna be using is 5.5 inches by 6.5 of the pretty, 5.5 inches by 7.5 liner. It's a pretty simple project, so I'm hoping to do it without stopping just to show y'all. The first thing we're going to do, and I have white thread in here so we can see everything. I'm going to match up these two corners. Fluff and stuff. Always with the fluff and stuff. Once we do this, it's matched on both sides. I'm going to place it right here on my sewing machine, and we're just going to sew a straight stitch down. There is some ironing. It just helps make it look nice if you're able to do that. Let's just scooch along. It is a straight stitch, back stitching just a smidgen, and there we go. Back stitch. Because it is right here, you see this big space. That is fine. That is what we want to see. I literally am just going to put it together here and kind of nudge it along there so it all lines up. Once I do that, I'm going to fold it in. It does have a little puckering, don't worry. We're just going to do a straight stitch down. I normally do these in chains, so I'll do multiple, so I don't have this issue, but with just doing one, I find this the most fastest, efficient method. It's about 1/4 of an inch for my seam allowance. And this is what it should look like. I'm going to just, so it looks like this because we did just chain stitch it along. I'm going to take that apart. So it looks like this. I'm going to turn it to the back so you can see the contrasting white. This is the white. That's the stitch line. All this fluff and stuff, it eventually falls away. Just going to help it along. I'm going to turn it right side out. We should have a tiny lip. When we're looking at it, oy vey, y'all, oy vey. So we have this tiny lip. We're going to press it down. Like, I'm just going to maneuver. I do like that. That's the whole purpose of it. That's why one is a whole inch longer than the other. I'm just moving it where I want it to. I want to see this black edge on both ends. One here, one there, and I'm going to give it a quick press. The iron is right here, so I'm just going to just quickly press really fast. It looks like this. The next thing to do is we're going to fold it pretty side down, and we're going to help it meet. It can overlap a smidge, but not too much, so I'm just folding it down, and I want to center it, so I'm going to lay it down. I can't really move y'all, but I'm going to, again, new to this, so I have to find the right equipment. And how this came about was I was explaining about the 3 minutes in TikTok and how, so this is our opening here, and I said I have to reduce this length, not lengthy, but this time to conform to the 3 minutes. And they were like, let's just see what you do. So here we are. We have it here, and we like that. If you need to put clips on there, put clips on there. I have everything kind of just right by my side, but what we're going to do now is just going to do a straight stitch. We're going to hold it together. Again, if you want to overlap, you're more than welcome to. But first, before we do that, because this is legit how it goes, I'm going to grab my tabby. I'm going to meet them in the middle. And we're going to iron down really quick. When we do that, we're going to do it once more, so it just has a nice, clean edge, but I'll show you the process as we go. So even though like it is legit time, so how you see it is how long it takes me to make one of these. We're going to fold once again like this. When we do this, we're going to be able to sew it. The sewing down, of course, secures that open fold. It secures this open fold. We're going to sew it just straight down here. And I'll do it on the other side just because for me, it's aesthetically pleasing. We're not going to use this whole thing. So, there I go. But it is a nice way to get rid of your little scrappy parts because you will end up with scrappy parts. I'm pulling it out a smidge. I'm going to place it back under. And again, we're not using the whole thing, so it's just enough. But it's good practice. So when we've done that, I've done that. Now I'm going to take my piece. I am going to, again, match it up. And I'm going to just do a straight line about 1/4 of an inch. Hooray! I actually am going to pull the whole thing out just to show you. Normally I just flip it back, but that's what our straight stitch looks like, minus all the fluff and stuff. It just looks like that. I'm going to take this clip off, and looking at this side, I am happy with it, but I need to assemble this part. I don't need the whole 5 inches. I'm going to cut this bad boy in half, in half, in half, in half. Because of the sewing lesson I had last night, I'm like, everything is not where it's supposed to be. I'm having to use other stuff. So here we go. It's our little tab. We're going to get our lobster claw thingamabob, and we're going to place that right in there. Holding it together, just matching up our ends here. Our ends there. That's what I want to see. I'm going to tuck it nice and neat, center where the fold is, where they match up. It's right there. We can barely see the little dilly dads. When we go over this, we do want to back stitch a couple of times just to secure it in because there will be stress on it. So there we go. You can be done as soon as you do this part, back stitching, going one more time over it. You can be done if you choose to. Me, myself, it will look still super cute. I like to just, I know I'm a little bit of an odd duck. I'm going to go back through and do the zigzag stitch right over it. I don't know why I like to do this, but I do. So here we go. Do the other side, and then we'll clip these extra strings so they're not so bothersome, and then we'll turn it right side up. I didn't think to get any Kleenex to show you that it does fit, but I will find some Kleenex rather quickly. So cutting down the tab, just cutting off these little tidbits, tab, tidbits, tab, tidbits. So the great reveal, we're going to poke out our corners here. We're going to go like this, flip it right over, and ta-da. This is what it looks like. Let me go grab a package of Kleenex. This doesn't need to be there. So I am going to just clip that. There we go. Hooray! Let me grab some Kleenex. All right, we have our package of Kleenex. And you can find Kleenex anywhere. These are the ones I choose to use. They are a pretty good fit. So we're just going to, I always try to put the way to open it first, but I don't want to open it. So I'm going to just place it right in there. I do have to say I am enjoying not having to necessarily stop. And had I got my life together and got the Kleenex first, we wouldn't have had to stop at all. So this is how you make a tissue holder. Well, you can make it many ways, but this is one of many ways you can make it. Super cute. Of course, Kleenex is a must these days. Clip it on and we're good to go. Thank you.